Hello, my name is Brian Townsend, and I'm the president of Only 2MG. Only 2MG is a nonprofit organization dedicated to raising awareness of illicit fentanyl and other public safety threats. Now, my background's in law enforcement, and I spent approximately 30 years in law enforcement, first as a police officer and then as a special agent with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, where I retired. Now, I'm still involved with law enforcement, but now in a training capacity. And over the last few years alone, I've spoken to a lot of people, countless people, about illicit fentanyl. And the question I get all the time is why? Why would drug traffickers put this dangerous drug that has the potential to kill into our drug supply? It's a valid question. We know that fentanyl is responsible for about 70 to 75% of all drug deaths in this country every year. So why would drug traffickers put this dangerous drug that has the potential to kill into our drug supply? Well, the reason is because it's cheap, it's powerful, and it's addictive. Let's dive into that a little bit more and explain how fentanyl got into our drug supply. In the mid-1990s, we changed pain management in this country overnight. And companies like Purdue released drugs like OxyContin, and they had a profound impact. Because of this, we saw an increase in heroin use. Now, what most people don't know and what the pharmaceutical and medical community don't want you to know is that most heroin users start with legal opioid prescriptions. Let me repeat that. Most heroin users start with legal opioid prescriptions. And because we opened the floodgates on how we manage pain and how we dished out opioids, we saw, like I said, a spike in heroin use. In fact, we hadn't seen this type of spike since the Vietnam War. They couldn't make heroin fast enough. And they started to cut it, and they needed a cut that made sense. And fentanyl was that cut. Just like heroin, fentanyl is an opioid. But unlike heroin, it's a synthetic opioid, meaning it's man-made. So heroin, there's a process. You have the poppy plant, and from that you get raw opium, and then you go to morphine, and then from morphine you go to heroin. Now, it's not a difficult process, but it is a process, and it takes the plant, it takes soil, sun, water, and time. With a synthetic drug like fentanyl, you need none of that. So it's cheaper, and it's all about making money when you're a drug trafficker. It's absolutely 100% all about making money. So you have a cheaper product that made its way into our drug supply via heroin that ultimately replaces heroin. It is a very powerful drug. Heroin pales in comparison to what fentanyl is. I've had many people who use heroin tell me that they're now looking for fentanyl. As crazy as that sounds, they're chasing a more intense experience, and fentanyl gives them that. And then finally, it's very addictive. Fentanyl creates this very powerful dependency, and that makes you a repeat customer because you're constantly going back for more and more. And if you're a drug trafficker, that's what you want. You want repeat business that puts more money in your pocket. So again, it's cheap, especially from the manufacturing and trafficking perspective. It's powerful. That's something that's appealing to the user, and it's addictive. And that, again, puts more money into the drug trafficker's pocket. When I teach, I talk about this drug trafficker algorithm. As long as I have more repeat customers than I have people dying, then I'm in business. I don't care. I know that sounds heartless, but drug traffickers are heartless. If they sell drugs, they don't care about the potential people dying. They're selling drugs. So as long as they make more money than people dying, then they're in business, and they're going to continue to do it. So again, it's a very powerful drug. It's a very cheap drug to produce, and it's a very addictive drug. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or other questions, please let me know.